I've been good. It's been a busy summer and fall's going off pretty good. So, um, yeah, been keeping myself busy with all sorts of stuff. Have you been?
I'm doing all right. And then just I joined a couple of things for Best Buddies, and I'm happy about that. Um,
Hmm.
I just joined the ambassador for Best Buddies, so I'm now I can call myself um part of the ambassador program. So I got the opportunity to be a
Oh,
part of
nice.
that. So I'm excited about that. So that'll give me
Congrats. That's awesome.
more opportunities to do more public speaking.
Yeah, that's great. Well, congrats on that.
Oh, thanks. Um, but it's been a lot of a lot of events coming up, and just getting things ready for the next events popping up in October.
Yeah, that's coming up pretty quick.
Yeah,
I can't believe it's already the end of September. So September has gone by so quick, and I thought August went by quick, but September has been a blink of the eye. So,
and then you have Thanksgiving coming around the corner.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I got something up my sleeve for Thanksgiving, Christmas time this year. So, I'm excited about that. Um, been been working on some stuff to release around the Christmas time. So,
Well, that's exciting.
uh, it'll be it'll be fun. Yeah, I've never have done any kind of holiday themed things with music before. Um, so been been working on that and with kind of a whole different set of folks that I'm used to working with. So that is nice to have the collaboration, kind of the outside experiences outside of the folks, the circle that I'm used to working with. So yeah, hit the studio in a couple weeks and we'll see how it turns out.
Well,
So
I've been listening to that single you've been sending me, the
yeah,
the new song. Yeah.
yeah, dropped Walking the Wire and
Mhm.
August 19th, and then we just I think I need to still send this to you, but it's forgive me just a little bit longer. We dropped that September 9th. Um, so and I've got one more single in October that I'm gonna drop, and then the Christmas stuff. So, um, but yeah, it's all been working out pretty good. Um, it's gotten decent listens, good playlist ads, kind of all the signs of that you're looking for as an artist. I never expect anything to blow up, right? It's always just like, did it do better than the last one? So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
incremental progress, you can always tell whenever somebody's kind of like overblown something because it's not all it doesn't all line up necessarily. So
Um, so that's good. I had to turn off my phone so it
yeah,
wouldn't ring.
was that your ringtone?
Yeah, that was very loud.
I'm not gonna lie, man. That would scare the crap out of me if my phone rang. It sounded like trumpets.
That was it was one of the bands I forget the name of the song. Um, but it's a popular one.
Yeah,
I used to interview
nice.
them.
Oh, cool. Um, so yeah, I'm also working on We're launching next week, but I've been working all summer with some folks in Kansas and Nashville and New York and that kind of thing, and been working on kind of a music business project that we're going to announce and release next week. That'll be an opportunity for Midwest musicians to, you know, um, help expand their audience. Um, and really, it's kind of a 360 view. So artists that are looking for development or feedback on their career and that kind of stuff, all the way to, you know, submitting music to be able to be played across radio stations across the Midwest, that kind of thing. So, um, I was telling you before we started recording that I've been busy and like that piece of it, building a website and, you know, getting all that, getting a new business going is time consuming. And, I've only got one sliver of it. I can't imagine what the other guys are having to deal with right now, trying to get everything off the ground. But you know, that's something that like uh, for me was right place at the right time, and just kind of fell in my lap. And I've really enjoyed working with the guys that I've been working with on that project. And you know, ultimately, like I did a podcast for a while called Bottoms Up, and it was you know focused on Kansas City acts, and so I get to expand that format and you know changing the name of it and everything, but it's the same kind of format where I get to talk to Midwest artists and get to feature their music and um, give them a platform that's you know broader than just Kansas City and that kind of thing. So
Mhm.
um, myself as an artist, like I rarely look at the Kansas City stats. Like I'm more interested in like who's playing my song in Brazil. Uh, uh, I love Kansas City and I love the community in Kansas City and that kind of thing, but you know, um, there's a cap, right? There's a cap on
Yeah.
like how many people are going to be interested in country music of my kind of flavor. There's a cap on venues, that kind of stuff, and so hopefully giving other artists that are of my mind frame of why stay in the small pond, you know, give them a little bit more of a platform. So, uh, and then hopefully after that, I get a little bit more time back in my schedule to do other things besides hustle.
Mhm. Well, that's good. I mean, that
Oh,
it's you have a lot on your plate, and that sounds like a name of
yeah.
the name of the for your podcast. It sounds like a name of a song.
Bottoms up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it actually is. It actually is. But I was intending it to be a reference to like the West Bottoms and the East Bottoms in Kansas City. It's all these places where I would go to see country music or roots music and that kind of stuff. But there is a Turnpike Troubadour song called Bottoms Up, uh, and he makes references to being in the bottoms and that kind of thing. So nice little tie-in. They're one of my favorite bands anyway. So,
That's good.
but got to do some traveling this summer. Like we played a lot in Kansas City, but then during the summertime, I got the band outside of Kansas City, so you know we just kind of traveled through Kansas and smaller towns and those types of fun spots where um, people don't get people will come for miles to see entertainment because there's nothing else but farmland. So those are always fun shows. And then we went down to Nashville. Um, so that was a really fun show to do. We played at Dee's Lounge, and you know it's crazy because we're like a year ago we went to Americana Fest in Nashville and like stayed down there for a couple days. We went to Dee's Lounge, and one of the people that we saw was Bronwyn Keith Hines, who's a fiddle player, Grammy Award winner, songwriter, and we saw her play at Dee's Lounge, and uh, the bass player in the Scoundrels, Aaron Lewis, Big Al is what I that's what his name is. It's not his birth name, but we were like, man, we got to get some shows down in Nashville. I'd love to play at Dee's Lounge, and you know, Braun was Bronwyn is just on such a different level of musicianship than um, kind of what we're used to. So it's like really love to be able to play shows with that, and so kind of set goals at the beginning of the year of the things that we were going to do, and got to go to Nashville and play Dee's Lounge in August, which was super cool, and then in September got to open for Bronwyn. So that was two things off of our little bucket list that we had set for this year. And the thing with Nashville was that like it was just a blessed trip the whole time. Um, so we go down to we're on the road. I've got a van load of dudes with me. I fixed up my old van, and I may or may not have slapped the plates from my truck onto the van because I didn't have time to go get it registered.
Mm.
So we're driving dirty all the way down. But I got all these guys in the van, and we stopped. The first place we stopped to get some food, and went to this fast food place. And I'm band daddy, sugar daddy, so I'm making sure everybody orders their food, and then I'm going to pay for it. So I'm last. I order my food. I go to pay for it, and the credit card machine goes down. Like I'm swiping it, nothing happens. And the kid that was working it, all of 18 or something like that, was like, "You guys look cool as hell, man." And we're all like giggling about that. And then after like a couple minutes of the credit card machine not working, he was like, "Just take the food. It's fine." So we got like all free food going down. Uh, the power steering went out on the van on the way down. And I pulled over in this little town in Kentucky. And as we pull in, I pop the hood, trying to figure out how I fix this thing. And it was around like 5 o'clock, so people were getting off of work, and like three dudes showed up from uh like auto repair stores. They're master mechanics, and they had like tools in the back of their trucks and all this kind of stuff. So we had like three dudes like working on the van to try to get it fixed. Send us on the road afterwards. That was good luck. Um, when we got to Dee's is kind of in East Nashville, so it's not like on Broadway. We don't typically have like the bachelorette parties and all that kind of stuff going on. So
Mm.
we got set up, and there was like maybe 15 people there. And right before we got on stage, like this wedding party came out. It was 5 or 6 truckloads of people. And after that, people started pouring in. So we played to a full bar at Dee's Lounge, and that was just like a really fun show. But also, like, that was our first time in Nashville, so being able to play to a full bar was pretty amazing. And then we drove home, and I dropped everybody off on the way home, and it was just Big Al and me, and um, we stopped at Quick Trip about 2 miles from my house, and while we're sitting there, a cop drove into the parking lot, and I'm like, "Ah, crap." So of course we pull out, get onto the highway, and we get pulled over immediately. Uh, and he's like, "I these plates belong onto a truck," and I was like, "Yeah, that's my truck too." And I was like, "Man, we are 2 miles from my house. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. Like, I'm going to jail." But Big Al's sitting there in the passenger seat. That's the side the cop is on, and Aaron starts talking to the police officer, and the cop was like, "What is it? What were you guys doing? What are you guys? Why you have a luggage rack on top and all that?" And Aaron's like, "We just went down to Nashville. and the guy was like, "Oh, really? Did you play music?" Like, "Yeah, we played music. Like, played at this cool place called Dee's Lounge." And he's just yapping, yapping, yapping. But he's telling the cop that we went across state lines, and the whole time I'm just like, I'm definitely going to jail tonight, for slapping plates on knowingly, driving dirty across state line. Aaron just telling him a whole life story. And he was like, "What's the name of the band?" He's like, "Michael Tipton and the Scoundrels." That's Michael Tipton over there. Like, just yapping. And so, give the cop my information. And he goes back to his car. And while he's back at his car, I see another cop come down and turn around, do a U-turn behind him. And I'm like, I'm definitely going to jail. Uh, and I don't know, it was maybe 5 minutes, and he comes back up and hands back all the information. He was like, "Well, my ticket printer is broke, guys, so um, you just get on home." So we drove off, no ticket. I mean, I was sweating bullets, but you know, it was just one of those trips where it was like luck was on our side, and it was just cool. It was a really cool experience, and to be able to do that with the players that I have, and just my close friends, was a pretty cool experience to make it all happen. So, and not getting in jail was also pretty awesome.
That's an interesting story.
Yeah. Yeah,
A good story to tell your
it's a
kids.
unique thing. Right.
Don't do this,
Well, we told that,
kids.
so we went out to Mound City. Yeah, so they do as I say, not as I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We went to play a show in Mountain City, Kansas a couple weeks ago, and it was just me and Big Al, and I kind of was telling people about that because he was out in the crowd shaking hands and giving out stickers and that kind of stuff, doing Big Al stuff. He's the mayor of everywhere. And so I tell the story, and then after the show, they were like, "Do you guys need a ride home, or do you have legit plates?" It's like, no, we're clean tonight. It's all fine tonight. Oh, yeah.
What's your
Those are
favorite?
the
pl- What's
those are
your
the fun little things that happen.
What's your favorite place in Nashville you like to go to?
Um, so I've traditionally I've loved to go to like Robert's Western World. That's where they're still playing like traditional country music, but it's on Broadway. Although they've bought a new building, I guess, and are moving. It's been there forever, and Roberts just has. I mean, it's just got all the vibes of a honky tonk.
Um,
Um, so I've really enjoyed going there, but the last few times I've been down, it's just been so packed that you can't enjoy yourself. So I've been going to East Nashville. Skinny Dennis is a fun joint. Dee's is a fun joint. Um, and there's a couple other places that are like just kind of out in a like Station Inn is another one that's always got top tier like bluegrass players and that kind of thing. So, but all of that's kind of off the drag of the main bar scene. What people think of Nashville is that Broadway and tons of music playing at multiple bars and all that. And that was cool, like the first couple times that I went down there, but that gets old really quick. I get a little claustrophobic when you can't move in a bar, you know. I like having a little bit of space.
I mean, it's the same thing as
So yeah,
In Kansas City.
yeah, yeah. Well, the bar, I mean, it's more of a tourist destination down there, so they kind of pack one street. But even in Kansas City, like a lot of the gyms to go see live music are not in the Crossroads area where most of the tourists go, right? There's a few places down there that are really good, but then a lot of them are kind of hidden uh, for the locals. So
Yeah.
I'm always looking for where the locals go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I've been going down there about every 3 months down to Nashville and do co-writes with other songwriters. So go in, get thrown into a room with somebody that you don't know, and you both pull out your notes and try to come up with a song in like 3 hours. And sometimes it's good. That's Walking the Wire, the one that I sent you, that's out now. That was written in Nashville on my first trip. Um, and that one came out really well. And then, there's been times when I've gone down there and I've come back and not had a song that I was happy with at all. So it just kind of depends on the vibe and the person that you're with.
Is there like a is there a process like how you got started to get to do that to
Um,
work with all other
to do this
people?
co-writing,
Hmm.
yeah. So, um, originally I met up with a group that's out of Nashville that help develop artists, and you know, we had kind of been introduced to them, and so basically, it was kind of like part of what they wanted to do was help me with uh, defining my brand, defining like kind of who I am as an artist, and set some goals. And then also part of that for me was I want to collaborate. I want to co-write. I want to be able to have the experience of sitting in a room and coming up with ideas and that kind of thing. Like I work really well in a collaborative space. Um, and I haven't had that experience too much in Kansas City, honestly. Like, there are some people that like really enjoy working together, and then there's others that hold their cards close to their chest. But my idea is, kind of like the more ideas, inputs, the better. Can make a song better. So after about I don't know 6 7 months of working with this company, they were able to make some connections for me for those initial songwriting visits, and then after that, um, I have been following Nashville songwriting groups on Facebook. I have followed a bunch of songwriters on like TikTok. Um, I've developed some relationships with like artist management companies. I've leveraged my PRO, which is BMI, to network as well. So I just really kind of set the goal of I'm going to start meeting people in Nashville and um, building relationships across the board, not just in Kansas City, but in other places. And been very lucky to meet the people that I have who have been incredibly generous to like, oh, you should go talk to this person, or you should spend some time with this person, or let's go have coffee with this guy. And then that leads to, well, when I'm down here next time, I'll bring a guitar and we can do some songwriting. I'll bring my notes and we can do some songwriting, that kind of thing. So that's kind of how that's been going. And the company that I originally started with and networking with and working on this kind of stuff. I still have a relationship with them. So when I go to Nashville, they put me up in their little studio apartment, which is literally in their studio, in their recording studio. It's like right above it, uh, or right beside it. So I don't have to pay for room and board. I just have to, find my way down there, and food, of course. But hotel costs and Airbnb costs, I don't have to worry about so much. So that's been a super big perk of just being intentional with networking and not burning any bridges, and making sure that I'm keeping good relationships. And I've learned a lot from that, that I hope that I can bring to other artists as well. Um, I think that the music business for the The music business is largely made up of no. You send your music to somebody and it's a no. Can we open for you? No. Um, does your record label want to hear my music? No. Uh, so I like being a little bit of a yes man, because I know that struggle. I've been told no way more times than I've been told yes, and if I see somebody that I feel is talented, and has got good songs and is putting in the work, I'm gonna do everything that I can to like try to get them into meeting some of the same network that I am in, if it makes sense, or point them in the right direction for things like booking software and all of that. So I really like being in the position of connector. Um, I'm going to be 49 this year, so I'm not going to be playing music live forever and ever, but I hope that, my long-term plan is to be sitting somewhere still in the music business and being able to help artists achieve their goals eventually. And I'm learning all of it now by trial and error myself. So, and getting some really good advice from folks that have already been down the path. One of the guys that I talk to every week has had a handful of top 10 country hits over the years and is charting on the Texas charts right now. So it's all people that like know way more than me. And that's the position to be in. I never want to be the smartest guy in the room when it comes to music business because I'm never going to learn if I think that I know it all, you know? So I'd rather walk in and be like, hi, I'm the new kid on the block, doesn't know anything. Teach me. I'm your sponge. Yeah.
Well, do you have a favorite um song you like to listen to? Or kind of like any kind of
Um,
good music you like to listen to?
yeah, I've got a range of different types of music that I listen to. So kind of my background, even though I'm playing country and Americana now, I kind of started in Americana way back out of high school with a band called Tabla Rasa, and we toured all over the country and did all that. Had a management company, but I've also played funk music. I do a Talking Heads tribute. Um, I've played electronic dance music, punk rock. I've kind of played a little bit of everything, so my tastes kind of vary. Um, lately I've really been um, I listen to a lot of like Turnpike Troubadours, Tyler Childers, like more of the country folks that are like storytellers and um, have something to say outside of like I drink beer and sit in the truck and blah blah blah. Like I care less about that crap. And I really don't like most of the country music that you hear on the radio. Like sometimes it's embarrassing for me to say that I play country because I know people go straight to like the crappiest country music that they can think of and be like, "Oh man, that's." But I'm more of in the vein of like Willie Nelson, kind of. When I say country music, I mean like traditional country music. So I've been listening to. There's a beautiful song by Turnpike Troubadours on their newest album called "On the Red River," and that's definitely um, probably one of the best songs of the year, in my opinion, that has been released this year. I'm also listening to. I mean, I got this from Bronwyn when she was in town, so I've been listening to some Bronwyn on my daily. So some bluegrass and that type of thing. But then I also listen to bands like Bohannon. Um, I listen to Charlie Parker weekly. So I'm kind of all over the place when it comes to LCD Sound System sometimes still. Talking Heads, of course. Um, so sometimes I just pick a style and just jam on it, you know. Um, Most recently, though, I've been listening to songs that are about Christmas, so I can write a Christmas song, which is incredibly difficult to do in September. And I am not one of those people that, like, as soon as Labor Day's over, I put up my Christmas tree. Like,
Um,
I usually don't. So you got to plan ahead for a Christmas song. And so I have a little playlist right now of some Christmas tunes that are about being thrown in jail on Christmas.
um,
I've got
well,
so I'm a little ahead of the curve in terms of holiday music. I'll be totally over it by the time I release the song. I'll be totally over Christmas music, but that's kind of what's I gotta. I have an ear for like I gotta learn new chords. What are the chords in traditional Christmas music and that kind of thing. So yeah,
have you
learning. It's mostly about learning.
have you listened to a band called the Snow Globes?
Snow globes? No, I haven't.
They're from Kansas City.
I'll look them up here. What kind of music would you say they are?
They play Christmas music.
Oh, okay. Sweet. Well, thanks for tipping me off on that one. I got them pulled up here. Awesome. I
Um,
haven't heard them yet. Uh, but it looks
my
like,
my sister knows the lead singer,
yeah.
and then I
Oh, this
guess
looks fun.
so they
I love
do
their
the name.
the fa- the Facebook cover is them. Looks like they're drinking eggnogs and eating cookies, and
Yeah.
I love that. Just go all in.
I mean
All
their
right, I
out
gave him a follow. Thank you, Daniel. That's awesome.
their album cover is the same thing.
Oh yeah, yeah. We've got um kind of a connection to the band that this person decorates cookies um for a living. Like she does like real fancy cookies and like intricate, designs and stuff. And so my thought pattern is for the cover of the Christmas holiday release kind of thing is to just have myself and my collaborators made into cookies for the cover, Christmas cookies. So uh, I'm super excited about seeing what I look like as a cookie.
That's funny. Yeah. Well,
Yeah, yeah,
I do love making cookies. I'll tell you that.
yeah. What's your favorite kind of cookie?
Um. Uh. Oh, I have so many, but I do like
Yeah.
Italian cookies. So like a sprinkle cookie, but it's
Mm-hmm.
like a just
It's more
sprinkle
like a macaron.
like a butter cookie.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, yeah. I'm a basic bitch. I like chocolate. Chocolate
Well, I
chip
mean,
cookies.
it
Give them
depends.
to me all day long.
I mean, it depends. I can cook anything.
Yeah. I think that like baking is definitely a science and an art combined. Um, you have to bake consistently or at least multiple times to be able to get something right. Where as cooking is less of a science and just follow
Behind
the ingredients. I have found I follow the same recipe for baking and have drastically different results sometimes. So
behind the camera, there's my KitchenAid and all my baking supplies
mhm.
behind it.
Nice, love that.
And then my little um soundboard on the side.
Hmm. Um, I my one of my first jobs out of um, college and high school was I worked at a place called Dawn Food Products, and they sell baking goods. And so it'd be like the flour and the sugar and the frosting and the jelly that goes inside the donuts. We'd sell them in like 5 gallon buckets, right? And I don't remember what year this was, but it had to be in the late 90s. And U2 shot a video in downtown Kansas City. This is before downtown Kansas City was like how it is now, right? It was kind of abandoned, so it wasn't blocking traffic necessarily. But their production crew came in and they bought us out of cherry filling, the 5 gallon buckets, so they could pour it all over the streets for this video. And I think it was like something about the end of the world. I forget what the name of the song was, but like they made a video in downtown Kansas City, and it must have smelled delicious because it was just all cherry filling all over the sidewalks and roads and everything, like, uh, yeah, it was. That was one of those things where like, who's coming to pick all this up? I mean, I like pulled a whole pallet. Oh, U2's production crew, like, wow, that's crazy.
Oh, it's crazy.
See if I can find the song.
That sounds like I would just want to go and look it up on YouTube.
Yeah, I was like, Until the End of the World, 1991, Octoon Baby is what that was off of. So if you find Octoon Baby, Until the End of the World, that song had a video sponsored by Dawn Food Products Cherry Glaze, cherry filling. Uh, I always thought that kind of stuff was really funny. It was like all the little tricks that people use whenever they're doing production on stuff. Like who thought of the cherry filling? Like why wasn't it Jello? Or why did they need it in the first place? You know.
You have a lot of interesting. Are those pictures of bands in the back? Are-
Some of them are. So this one right here is me and a fella named Josh Headley. He's a Western swing artist that has toured with Sleep at the Wheel and that kind of stuff. But I ran into him at Robert's Western World in Nashville, so I got a picture with him. This one is Camry, Ivory, and Caitlin Jameson from Found a Job band I'm in, taking a shot in front of a one of our crowds. I got these trombone ones on a trip to New Orleans, like in a little farmers market deal. And I used to play trombone in jazz bands and stuff, so I've always loved the trombone. That's Ernest Tubb. And then this one is Bob Wilson, Texas Playboys, and you can't see it too well, but he had like almost 20 members of his band, and they would travel around on the buses, and sometimes they'd bring their horses with them as well. So he bought everybody in the band a horse, and every once in a while they'd bring horses on tour with him.
oh,
He'd come
that's
up on. He was like the original David Lee Roth. Like he would come up on stage with a white stallion, like to start the show. So
that's interesting. It must have been fun
yeah,
bringing
but Bob.
bringing
Yeah,
a
I feel like
horse
those
in.
times had have been fun to hit the road, and yeah, yeah. So yeah, I got some good. I've also got some memorabilia as well, like if a lot of signed concert posters and tickets and all that kind of stuff. Like I've kept a lot of things over the years that were either bands that I got to go see that's the only time I ever got to see them, or they signed my poster or whatever. So I like geeking out on that kind of stuff. So if it ever comes, like my friend Lucas is a sound engineer production guy. So he's toured all over the country with different acts and different comedians and bands and all sorts of stuff. And he was in, I believe it was the Capitol Theater in New York. And there was a picture of a John Prine poster where John Prine had played there. And it was signed. And Lucas made a comment to the guy that was the manager there. He's like, "Man, my friend loves John Prine. He would freak out to have that." And the guy was like, "Oh, well, you can have that one. I've got another one in my office." So he brought me back a signed John Prine gig poster that was already framed and everything had been hanging in the Capitol Theater for years. Like, I get a little lucky with that kind of stuff. I got the music juju where, and good friends, and very good friends. Yeah.
Well, that's good. I have good friends
Yep.
that are
Yep.
in the music industry.
Yeah. I've been fortunate. Been fortunate. And I mean, like, you start playing, I've been playing music since, I was 18. So, and I never have really stopped very much. So over time, you just grow into relationships with people. I think I met Lucas like in 2000 and I met him because he ran sound for me one night and we just hit it off. And have been buds for over 20 years now. So, um, having those connections and maintaining them are important, especially as an up and coming artist, because you never know what's going to happen or what kind of resources you're going to need. I know if I ever need a sound guy for a show, I can call Lucas or I can call Buzz Collins. Those are the two dudes in Kansas City that I've known for 20 some years. And Buzz runs all the Found a Job show sound. And, so super solid, both of them super solid guys. Um, but I'm happy that I know them because there's been a couple times I've been in a pinch that I had to call them. So, yeah.
Is there a lot of people that switch places at the bars in Kansas City for like the sound systems that do the sounds?
Um, yeah, I would say that there's sound people that do sound in multiple places, or they go from one place and then they start working at another one, larger venue, that kind of stuff. Um, you know, th- it's rarer these days to have a sound guy that just works in the one place. You know, I would say Knuckleheads has a great set of folks working there that runs their lighting and sound production and that kind of stuff. And, they may be busy enough that they don't have to go work other shows, run sound at other venues, but a lot of sound guys just want to stay busy. Uh, and they're hustling for that money, so they're trying to pick up shows at different venues and have those relationships. So, um, a lot of interaction or a lot of interchange there. It's probably pretty similar to like you know, waiters, waitresses, bar staff, that kind of stuff. Like, once you have that skill, you can kind of go to any place and work the hours that they give you. So,
Do you have a favorite venue here in Kansas City?
um, my favorite venue to play, um, is Knucklehead's outdoor stage. Um, and the garage is really great too, but the outdoor stages has kind of have that special magic. One of my favorite places to listen to music is either it's a tie between the record bar or the ship. Um, and, you know, the ship has a great environment and it's a really unique space and they've just done a great job with it. Um, and the record bar, I mean, the sound system it's awesome. Uh, so you really can't beat it. I love playing at the record bar too, although, not as easy to do shows at the record bar when you're a country band. It's not necessarily their line of their line of or their genre that they spend a lot of time in. But when you do play there, it's like the best that you've ever sounded. So I'll take that any day, you know. So and Steve's a great guy. I mean, Steve Toolabon is just you know he's always been really supportive. He's always given me opportunities. And it wasn't until like 10 years of knowing him that I realized that we had the same birthday. So I've always got that in common with him, you know. Him, me, and John Keck. John Keck is December 9th as well. So the Sagittarius trifecta there with the musicians.
Yeah, I mean, I like the record bar. I like that's I like it's always been like I always like the record bar. It's very it's I don't
Hmm.
know, it's that's like the only venue that I can get into. But the last time I was at the ship was years ago.
Hmm.
And when I could walk up to the stairs,
Yeah.
but now that I
Yeah,
can't,
thinking about it, they don't.
but
Yeah.
it's it's whatever. But
Yeah. Yeah, I hadn't. I was just thinking of the layout of the ship, and like, you're right. There isn't a good way. There's no rampage
no,
where the record bar's just straight in. So,
yeah. Well, that they I guess a long time ago they said they had a back door, but I don't know for sure.
I don't know. I don't know either. Who knows? I do know that like I think that the um amount of acts coming through Kansas City now seems to be there seems to be more chances to see live music, and
Um,
there's more places doing live streaming. So there's been several times that I've wanted to go to a Knucklehead show and I can't. So they'll have it on like their Facebook live stream. And I think that that's a great kind of service to folks. Um, that like I'm a dad. I can't always go out and see shows whenever I want to. And then the nights that I don't have my kids, I'm usually playing a show. So, being able to watch the live stream or go back and watch the live stream is, that's one of the perks of the internet for sure.
is the live
Besides just
streams
memes.
is a live streams? Can you see the live?
Yeah, they usually have it on the stage, and the sound quality is pretty good, and a lot of times they're running it through the soundboard. So, um, Found a Job has had some shows. That's Found a Job's my Talking Heads tribute, but like they'll live stream some of those shows when we've played, and it also allows me to come home and like listen to how well we played, and make little notes of where we can improve and that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's like watching the tapes from game day.
Um, that's good. So what's on like
So yeah,
what's on the playlist? So when you're going on stage, how many songs do you play on the playlist?
um, well, for Found a Job, most of our shows are at least 2 hours, and that's about 30 songs or so. Um, and there's songs, some of them are short, but some of them tend to be a little bit longer and kind of jammed out and that kind of thing. With the country tunes, And my original songs, a lot of times it's an hour, hour and a half. And usually within an hour we can do, 10 songs or so, sometimes 12. But I've got, usually with the band that I'm playing in, I've got three solo players, like a pedal steel guitar, electric guitar, piano. So you can kind of stretch out a song just by letting people like show off their soloing skills. So on those longer shows where it's like we got to stretch it from 2 hours to 3 hours, a lot of that is picking the songs that you just really want to stretch out and just make a really cool jam out of the whole thing and all of that. But with country tunes, if we're playing 2 hours, then it's closer to like 35, 36 songs because country tunes, traditional country songs are sometimes under 2 minutes. So you gotta really pile them on to be able to stretch that out sometimes. So we mix it up a little bit. We do the shorter traditional country songs, and I've spent before I started playing out and putting my country band together. I went and supported bands for a year, year and a half, especially at the Honky Tonk Tuesday at the Ship, like Lorna Kay and Casey Roush and the Pines and or the Naughty Pines, sorry, Rex Hobart, and I got an idea of what everybody was playing, what songs, because in that setting of Honky Tonk Tuesday, there's a lot of overlap on what bands are playing. So you could go there every week for a month and you could hear probably 10 to 15 songs that were the same from every band that were on everybody's set list, right? So I took mental note of that and was like, okay, I'm not going to choose those songs. Whenever I build the set list for my band and we're doing covers, I'm going to stay away from these songs that everybody else is doing because why hear a Mike Tipton? Nobody's asking for a Mike Tipton version of that song. So nobody wants to hear me sing "Crazy" by Patsy Cline. So I've spent a lot of time developing set lists to be unique and to be high energy and get people on the dance floor and that kind of stuff, but it not be the songs that you would hear on anybody else's playlist, anybody else's set list at some of these places. So, and then I've been writing original songs, so slowly we're playing less covers and more originals. So in a 2 hour set, it's about half and half now, half covers and half originals. Um, and I don't even use all my originals. Like some of them, I haven't played since I recorded them. Uh, you know, so we kind of have the ones that rock, and then there's stuff that are on albums that are more on my first album that are more subtle, more folky, that kind of thing. That I basically recorded with me and my guitar that I don't make anybody set through at a show. So
Wow.
I shut up and play the hits. So, oh, um, I appreciate you having me on here again. It's been what,
Um,
year, 2 years
been a
since we did
long
this?
time.
Yeah, yeah, I appreciate it.
The last time we
Uh,
had your kids
and
on.
oh yeah, that's right.
And talking about
I forgot about that.
McDonald's.
Uh huh. Yep. Yep. Which is probably what they would talk about now. Still, I mean, oh no. Tonight we got stuff going on with the kiddos, but they've grown to be my merch part of my merch team now. So they're old enough now to where they can run the merch booth on shows where I'm playing, 45 minutes or whatever. I'll put them on the merch booth and they can sell my t-shirts and stuff and they love it. Like they just love interacting with people, but you know, they're really into like as my youngest would say, he's like, do you think we're good at business?" Like You're good at passing the tip jar around. That's for dang sure. You're so cute. So, um, it's nice to be able to bring in family in something that I've been doing my entire life. Ever since I was a kid, I've been going to Opries and I've been going to live music venues with through friends and all of that. So I kind of grew up in the backstage at Opry houses. And so having my kids along for the ride, like I hope that instills some entrepreneurialism in them and a love for music. And even if they don't perform or learn to play music, they still have an appreciation for like the work that it takes to pull off a show and that kind of thing. So I feel like it's a good experience for them. And man, people are just so nice to them too. Like, you know, nobody's ever been rude to a kid that's asking for a dollar tip. So handy. They're handy
Oh,
little boogers.
oh, well, I guess it's a job.
I gotta, yeah, it gives them something to do for sure. I'm gonna
Get
have to
them
roll here pretty quick. I got,
get them out of your hands.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, I'll have to roll here a little bit. So, but I appreciate you having me on again, and it's good to talk to you. I've enjoyed following your social media and everything too.
I
So
know I have
appreciate what you
so
do for
many.
artists.
Oh, thanks.
You do, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Get a lot of irons in the fire. Yeah.
yeah. Um,
Well, that's one of the things. That's one of the things I've learned is like you got to put a lot of irons in the fire because not everything's going to be hot all the time. So,
yeah.
you
I
can
mean, I
always
have.
ensure that you've got something creative to do.
Yeah. Well, I do all the podcasts and I love it. I
Hmm.
have the uncles and
Oh.
fatherhood,
Hmm.
and I have the um this one, the one guy in the sound system,
Hmm.
and my collusion in Kansas City, and I just talked to so many other people in Kansas City.
Yep.
So I don't know, just loving what I do.
I can tell you're passionate about it. I think it's super cool. Yeah,
And then
it's
a
super
part of
cool.
the best buddies.
Well, congrats on all of that. I think it's great that you're able to be an ambassador and you are connecting with a lot of people. So that's admirable. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
I gotta pop off of here and get
All
onto a work
right.
call because I still have a full-time job. So,
All right.
uh, thanks,
I'll,
Daniel. I appreciate
I'll,
you.
all right. Talk to you later.
All right, have a good one.
You too.
Thank you.